going to wrap the Mustang. I'm not a big fan of the red. It's not really my style. I want to go with something a little bit more girly. Still classy though, neutral color. The best thing about it is the wheels that we're going to put on it. I cannot wait. We are going to try to get this wrap done in about a week and a half. Neither of us have ever wrapped a car before, so it's going to be a learning experience. I hope I can fit it in the already crazy schedule that I have. We are actually taking a break from drifting at the moment because I have 4 drag racing events to compete in, and I'm really excited about that because I've been waiting to test my Honda out in a lot cooler weather. In the meantime, we're going to wrap this car and then we are going to drag race. Don't forget to subscribe so you can follow along. It helps me out, it helps the channel out, and hopefully we can do this full time. I ended up buying my own wrap because I asked somebody how much it would cost to wrap my drift car. I think they said something insane like $3,400. I went on this website. I'm not sponsored by them. I just went on this website. I found the color that I liked. I think it was like $700 for the wrap. So free labor, obviously, because I'm going to be doing it myself. $700 for the wrap, and then I'll let you guys know how hard it was for us to do and how long it took us to get it done. Obviously, the wrap's not going to be perfect because it's a drift car. We are going to re-wrap it once a year probably. So, I mean, things happen. You crash, you bump doors, you rub walls. I mean, obviously the wrap doesn't have to be perfect. So, let's get started. Okay, getting started, we're going to remove this banner because I've never drove Spring Break Bash. I liked it for like a sun visor, so I should probably have like a Samyysosaa one made to be replaced just to keep the sun out of my eyes. We're going to start by removing the roof moldings and prepping to wrap the roof. I actually think I'm going to need a step stool so I can finish this. To take off the roof moldings, I just used a flathead and kind of wedged it in between and popped it up really gently between all the clips, and it just came right out. I first started cleaning the roof with like soap and water, and then I went over it again with rubbing alcohol. I measured the roof real quick so I could cut the wrap from the roll, and then we're ready to wrap the roof. Starting off with the wrap, I've never wrapped a car before, so this is my first time. This was extremely difficult trying to get the wrap to lay flat on the roof without any wrinkles, and the wrap was incredibly thick and tough, so it wasn't very stretchy. So here we are trying to stretch it each side. It wasn't cooperating. So we were getting really frustrated and not working together very well with this part. So we went with his way and just did the soap and water trick so that we can move the wrap around a little bit freely and work the wrinkles out smoother. Looking back at it, I think that we should have just used the heat gun to warm up the wrap and help it stretch a little bit better. But since this was our first time, it was just kind of hard to understand the concept. And let me know in the comments what you think about using soap and water, and if you've ever tried this before. If not, like any tips, because we still have half the car to wrap after this video, so let me know what you guys think. Might as well go ahead and take this off with the drift car, so I don't think we're going to be needing it. All this to access the wiper squirters to take them off so that the wrap can lay evenly on the hood. So the technique we ended up using is just spraying like a light soap water mixture over the areas that we were going to wrap. When I went to wrap the hood, I guess I measured wrong and I ended up cutting it way too short. So we had to just set it down and pick a different piece to wrap. And I ended up picking the trunk just because it was like
similar in size. Looking back here, I definitely cut the trunk way too short, so I ended up doing the trunk in 2 different pieces. It was just easier.
Actually super surprised how the trunk came out. It looked really good. The only issue was the edges, trying to wrap it around. Alright, so today I'm going to be wrapping the door. First I'm going to take off the rearview mirror, the door handle, this molding right here, and then trying the same little aesthetic that we did earlier. We found the material really hard to pull. It's just a really thick material, and we ended up just using soap and water, and so far it looks like it's holding up pretty good. The only thing that I have to work on is like cleaning the edges, because whenever I go to wrap an edge, it'll peel back because there's so much dirt, because this is a drift car and everything is absolutely disgusting on it. So just wiping the edges, prepping them, and getting it ready to wrap them around the corners is like the main thing that I've learned so far. I have a private rental on Sunday. Today is Thursday, and literally the only thing that's wrapped on the car is the roof and the trunk, and the trunk isn't even completely done yet because it's only halfway done pretty much. So I still have all that to do. So let's see if we can do it. Taking the door handle off ended up being a lot more challenging than I expected. I ended up breaking one of the clips that holds it on, so that wasn't good. But I eventually got it off, and whenever I put it back together, for some reason, everything still works, so I'm not sure what I broke, but this was my first piece wrapping all by myself, so I was a little bit scared going into it, but it ended up like really good, so I think I kind of like wrapping at this point. This was an entirely flat section, which made it easier to wrap. But whenever I got to the dip inside the door, it was a little bit harder because I wasn't sure how to get it to stick because I was using soap and water. So it just took a lot of patience, just like squeegeeing out the soap and water and holding the wrap in that position. I'm sure that if I used the heat trick, I would have been able to stretch it and it would have stuck. But since I had soap and water there, I had to work the soap and water out first. At this point, I was absolutely defeated. It took me about 3.5 hours to get to this point, and I had to work that night, so I was pretty much done for the day. FL2K is about 2 weeks away. We just did some testing with the car. We were pretty consistent. We did 2 10-2 passes. We're going to be running the 10-5 index, so I'm pretty confident about how we're going to do at FL2K. I also brought my drift car with me, and we're just going to head over there and do a couple laps. We made it. We just made it to the drift track. It's literally a really far drive over here. The Honda did me really good today, so I'm hoping that the drift car does the same thing. We'll see if we can get some good seat time in. private rental this night and it ended up raining out for the drag car. So I just decided to come back home after we loaded everything back into the garage and wrap another piece. When trimming the bottom, I ended up cutting too short and I had to move the wrap down or take the whole wrap off and move it down and redo the whole entire process again. It's all part of the learning process. We'll get there. When I first laid it down and I started squeegeeing it, I realized that the bumper wasn't centered and the wrap had to be taken off and re-put back on and have to start all over again. This was the day after FL2K. I got back and immediately jumped back on the project. Eventually, I'll get it done, I swear. So far I've been having a little trouble with the bumper. This side I did pretty good, but on this side I'm having a lot of issues. I don't know what I did differently this time. Well, I definitely started trying to wrap this little corner first and it kind of messed up everything. So yeah, and then this is what the rest of the car looks like right now. Tomorrow my over fenders for the rear and the front are coming, so we're gonna rivet them on the back, put the fronts on, and then I'll wrap the fronts. So yeah, this is the progress so far. It's been about 2 weeks in the making because we had to stop and keep doing drag racing, but this is where we are right now. So stay tuned because I got the new 2F Performance over fenders for the front and the rear, and I'm going to open them up and show you guys the fitment on them and what it took to get them to sit properly on the car. Don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up to date with me. Stay tuned.